Good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamara Jordan, Tammy Turns Pages, and I am so glad that you're here and that you clicked on today's video. Today we are going to be mood reading, of course, because that's what I'm in the mood for right now, obviously, my physical TBR, but we're going to do it kind of based on genre. I do already have something like this currently on my channel, which is mood reading my physical TBR, but based on color. I've already uploaded red, orange, and yellow. So this one, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. And I thought we'd do books on my physical TBR that have like specific genre. So like books that take place in Europe, or books that, I don't know, have the word we on it, or books that take place at like a summer camp or have camp vibes. And so for this one, we're going to do books that take place, or the setting is a TV show, which I thought was going to be really, really fun because I read so many books that take place on a TV show, or like where they go into a TV show. And those books are always really fun for me. So I already picked up my books because I couldn't wait. So let me tell you what we're reading for this vlog. We're going to be reading two books. The first book is, I'm not sure which one I'm going to start first, but Primetime Romance by Robb. I'm so excited. I did recently pick this up maybe a month ago or something like that. Both of these I picked up pretty, like they're newer on my TBR. This one, she's newly divorced and she finds herself caught in a TV show that's kind of like Dawson's Creek. And then obviously needs to figure out how to get out of it if she wants to get out of it. So this one I'm really excited for. This one came out last year and I never read it and I really wanted to. So I'm going to prioritize reading it this year. And then the second one is Never Ever Getting Back Together. This one is kind of like a spin on The Bachelor, I'm assuming. It takes place in Europe, and it's a girl who goes on this like bachelor show with her ex, and it's kind of like Bachelor but called Second Chance Romance. That's what it's called, the show, I mean. And they have to figure out if they want to be together, and they're competing for his love. There's like 8 girls or something like that. So yeah, I thought this would be fun to read. So the two books for this video are going to be Never Getting Back Together by Sophia Gonzalez, Primetime Romance by Robb. And also, they kind of look the same. I mean, the colors are the same. Ooh, look how pretty. They've got the like purple and pastel pink. Gorgeous. So yeah, let's get started. I decided I'm going to start with this one just because, I don't know, it just seems fun. It's a little bit bigger than the other one too, so I might as well get this one out of the way. Okay, so work is done and I want to give you an update on this book. So this morning I was able to get to chapter 5, which is page 51. So just a little bit. And then I've been reading for maybe the last 2.5 hours, 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours because it's about 5:30 now. And I've gotten to chapter 15, page 155. So I've made some pretty good progress. I'm about here in the book on Never Ever Getting Back Together. Like I said, this is my first Sophia Gonzalez book. I really like this book. It sounds like every single time I read a book, or I haven't rated this yet, but every single time I read a romance novel, I was like, I like it. That's the reason why I love romance so much, is because they're easy. They're palate cleansers. You know, there's not a lot of effort that you have to put into like understanding the characters, or like the narrative or the plot, or you know what I mean? They're just easy, they're fun, they're quick, they're light, and I love them. I love romance. It's probably my favorite genre besides literary fiction, which is very different than romance. It's actually a lot heavier usually than romance, but those are my two. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this so far. So we're following our 3 main characters. Jordy, Maya and Sky. Okay, so Jordy is the quote unquote bachelor, or the lead, I guess, of this Second Chance TV show that they're filming. The thing about Jordy is that all of the people that are in, I think there's 7 girls, all the girls that are in there have been a partner of his at one point in his life. So he's just trying to give a second chance to someone that he's already dated, obviously, hence second chances. And the reason that they're making this show is because they're obviously they want something like The Bachelor, right? They're trying to go off of The Bachelor, but they're also thinking if time and, you know, like experience and, you know, maturity come into play, will one of these women actually be him, a match for him? So that's why they're making this show. The problem is that Sky and Maya, which is the people that we actually get the points of view of, we don't get Jordy's point of view at all. He's just talked about a lot. But yeah, no, we just get Maya and Sky's points of view. They both dated him, but unfortunately they also like overlapped when they were dating him. And they both know about it, and they both hate each other because of the overlap. They think, Sky thinks that Maya was the one who caused the overlap, and Maya thinks that Sky was the one who caused the overlap during the time that they were dating. So in this, they're trying to figure out if they can get along, right? Because they're in this show together. They're also living in a house together, trying to, you know, kind of solve the age-old question of, was I being played or not? So, and I actually really like, I'm on 15, like I said, and because I don't want to give you too much, but I like where this is going. This is going somewhere I didn't necessarily think it was going to go, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to continue reading this. I can't believe how far I am already in this book, which is crazy, but I will let you know what I think. Hey, it's the next day after work, and I wanted to give you like a little bit of an update on where I am with Never Ever Getting Back Together. I have been reading this book for the last maybe 2 hours. I think the last time I checked in, I was on chapter 14, and now I'm on chapter 36, page 297, or 36. I'm on chapter 30. Page 297, and yeah, I'm still really enjoying this book a lot. It's going places that I wasn't expecting for it to go, but I'm pleasantly surprised and happy that it's going there. I am going to try and finish this book today, and I will give you a review at the end of the vlog, but I just wanted to just give you a quick update. I'm loving this book, so it's feeling like it's probably gonna be like a 4.5 star. I really like this book a lot. And also, I'm shocked. I've never heard of this writer. Well, before this book, but she has written other books before this one, but I've never heard of her until this book came out. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to start going through her backlog, because if I liked this so much, I would probably like her other books as well. So yeah, I will let you know when I finish this book. The next day, and you would have seen me start this book, Primetime Romance by Robb, yesterday. I was able to finish Never Ever Getting Back Together, and I will give you a full review on that at the end of this video. But I wanted to tell you that I got to chapter 7 of this book last night, page 63, and I wanted to give you like a kind of like where I'm at in the book and a brief synopsis. So basically, I just started this book, like I said, chapter 7, but it's basically been fully set up, the storyline anyways. So in this story, we have our main character, Bryn. She is 29 and she's newly divorced. Her life is not going well. She's obviously, you know, struggling. She's having some issues. She's living with her brother, and you know, just to afford rent, because they live in Vancouver, or no, sorry. They live, I think in Ottawa, but they live in Canada, and her brother moves to Vancouver. And so she has to get a roommate. Her roommate is a very, not sleazy, but he's a very well-known bartender, and he bartends at a place that, you know, she goes to a lot in her town, but he becomes her roommate, and they randomly get transported to Carson's Cove, which is like Dawson's Creek, basically. It's like the same thing, but randomly they're transported to Carson Cove. So that's where I'm at. They know why they got there. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. They know why they're there, and now they need to figure out how to get home. So anyway, I'm going to continue reading this book now. Maybe try to get, I don't know, maybe another 50, 60 pages in. And yeah, I'll take you along with me. Okay, so it's the next day and I was able to finish the second book, Primetime Romance. So both books are done. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my review on both books now, and then I'm probably gonna end the video here. So I'm gonna start with the first book that I read, Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophia Gonzalez. This book was actually shockingly good. I did not know what to expect from this book because I've never read anything by this author. I will be picking up more books from this author because I really liked her writing. This was a fun, silly, awesome, good time. I thought like the writing itself was really good, really easy, quick to read, and kind of quick to get into. I think I read this in a day and a half. It turned out to be sapphic, which I loved. Not really a spoiler, but yeah, it was good. I was shocked by that. But it also kind of turned out to be like a little bit of a almost like revenge kind of, like one person was getting revenge on the other kind of plot, which I thought was also fun. This is basically The Bachelor, but in a book, and a little bit different because he's giving second chances to all the, well, like 5 or 6 girls that he's dated before. So I really like this book. Like I said, this was so fun, so quick, so easy. This is romance, sapphic romance. This is just really, really fun. I probably would give this book a 4.5 stars. I loved every second of this book. So then we're gonna move on to Primetime Romance by Robb. This one, unfortunately, was not my favorite. This one I probably would say was too close to real life. This book follows 2 main characters. I think it's Josh. Yeah, Josh and, see, I don't even care about the names. Josh and Bryn. So Josh and Bryn get stuck in what is essentially Dawson's Creek, but it's called Crystal Cove? Carson's Cove. I don't care. Carson's Cove. Anyway, what I didn't like about this book, like the writing was meh, it was fine. Okay, what I didn't like about this book is that it felt like it was taking a lot of its ideas from other places. Like this whole book is basically like a ripoff of Dawson's Creek, like pretty much, like scene for scene. Like she was talking about scenes from this cove place, Carson's Cove. She was talking about scenes of that from that place, and they were exact scenes from Dawson's Creek, which maybe she wanted to do that. I don't know, but after like the 5th scene, I was like over it. I was like, I've already seen that scene because I watched Dawson's Creek when I was growing up. So, you know. The other thing is, it wasn't just pulling scenes from Dawson's Creek, it was also pulling scenes from, it pulled one scene from Sex and the City, the movie, where, because this girl, she's 29 and she's recently divorced, and she talks about how she decided to go on their honeymoon alone or something like that, or go on their anniversary trip alone to Mexico. And then when she gets there, she's like, doesn't leave the room. She's crying all the time. And she has to come into like, she comes into like the heart on her bed and like flowers all over the room. And it's like the exact carbon copy of what happens in the movie of Sex and the City, just without 3 other girls there, you know, like without her 3 friends. It's like the same exact thing that happened in Sex and the City. So I don't know. I felt like this book was really like just a knockoff, kind of like a cheap knockoff of like so many things. And it's okay to do a nod to something like this is a nod. The book title is a nod. Never Ever Getting Back Together is a nod to, you know, Taylor Swift. We all know that. We all know this is a nod to it, but this doesn't even really reference Taylor Swift or talk about her at all or say anything about that song. Not to my knowledge, not that I remember. It's just, you know, this book cover is what it's, but this is like a carbon copy of all of Dawson's Creek and then other films too. I also didn't believe the romance. I didn't love the main character, the girl, Bryn. She's supposed to be 29 and newly divorced, and she acts like a 5-year-old. I didn't love this. And it's so sad because I came off of this and I loved this, and then this one was just meh. It was mid, not even mid, it was below mid. I probably would give this a 2 star. Say if you like Dawson's Creek and you really wanted to like relive that, but like a little bit different, you might like this. So much for watching this video, and thank you for sticking with me during this kind of fun, funky vlog. If you like this vlog, if you like my channel, if you like my page, please like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.